Hey, I am Diane Prince, and I'm here to help you add recurring revenue to your recruiting agency. So let's talk about in this video how to start offering contract staffing, also known as temp staffing, also known as interim. Basically, what it means is that instead of doing direct hire placement where you're getting a one-time fee, you are placing people in a business where you are with your client, where you are the employer, or they're working as a contractor. There's different ways to do it, but basically so that you have recurring revenue stream. And if you want the details on how to do it, you can find the details here as well in my links, because I also show people actually how to put it together, how to put it all together. But let's talk about how to sell it first, because really what I believe in is get the clients, okay? And you can set up temp staffing, contract staffing. There are a few different terms for it. You can set it up rather quickly. So get the clients, and you can come back to, you can even message me and I'll send you the resources, or where the resources are, or just look on my my resources and I'll show you how to set it up. But get the clients. Let's do that. Let's bring in the business first so that you're gonna have revenue right away. And by the way, adding staffing, contract staffing is going to allow you to have consistent cash flow and have recurring revenue. So that way you're not starting over every single month, you're not living to placement, and you're not finding yourself years into your business not really having an asset. Okay, so that means that when you're doing contract recruitment, you have a steady cash flow, and that's more predictable. And sure, there are market shifts and market changes, but you're literally, when you're placing your temp employees, when you have temp employees in a client, you're literally doing something that they cannot do for themselves. So because of compliance, they cannot do internal temps. It's been done, and it's highly regulated, so it's not okay. It's not okay for companies to do that. It's not legal. So you're not going to be replaced by your clients deciding to take recruiting in-house. They can do that with permanent placement. They cannot do that with temp staffing. So let's talk about how to get your first contracts on assignment. Okay, the best way to start with is to directly sell or market to your current clients. Okay, you cannot you're not going to get the business if you don't tell people that you're doing it. And this is the lowest, typically the fastest to money, are the people that you're already working with. So simply tell them, provide the information and tell them that you're doing it now. But don't just assume, unless you know how that contractors would benefit them. Have a conversation with them and talk it through. There's different ways that companies use temp staffing, and I'm going to share those ways with you so that you'll know, instead of assuming that, some people say, hey, guess what, we're offering people now on a project basis. That's one way that people use temp staffing and contract staffing, but it's not the only way. And so, and it's usually, in my experience, it hasn't been the most common way. What's been the most common in my experience is contract to hire or temp to hire. And that's sort of trying somebody out, having them start as a temp and they need to do it through an agency in order for it to be legal. Still, they're not going to be, if you're in the US, they're not going to be 1099 contractors legally, even if you call them that. Okay, so ways that you can service your clients with temp staffing, here are a couple of ways. So one is you can offer contract to hire. So maybe a client's on a fence about a candidate that you're sending. You're sending a candidate on a direct hire role, and they might be on the fence or not sure if they want to hire the person. You can position this person as, why don't you try them out as a contract to hire? Now, this is also, like, you want to make sure that you have to have the right candidate for this, of course, and ideally this is for candidates who are probably not in current full-time jobs, or there's something really wrong, or they know they're about to get laid off or something like that. Okay, or unless this is a great opportunity that they really, really want. Okay. So also if the candidate's on the fence about a job, if there's any kind of uncertainty, you can offer this. You can also offer this when people are asking you about the guarantee period or negotiating. Like, this is an alternative to a permanent placement guarantee period, because guess what? When you place contractors, there's no guarantee. You're not waiting to secure your payment until the guarantee date. If they don't work out, you still get paid for the hours that they worked, and then you replace them, and it's no big deal. And usually the clock starts ticking again as far as if they're going to convert them into a full-time employee. So that's another big benefit of doing temp staffing. Okay, so to recap, we're talking about the easiest way to get started with contract staffing is to sell to your current clients. One way to sell to your current clients is to offer a temp to hire or contract to hire solution. Okay. Another way is, another reason or another offering is backfill. If you are working with a client who's, that they've got something, they've got a project, there's gaps there, you can offer to help fill in for those gaps. I mean, even like once I got a contract role because I was actually I was trying to sell direct hire placement to a tech company, and they told me that they were going through a recruiting. They were ramping up in recruiting. They didn't want to use us for direct hire. I ended up placing a contract recruiter with them, and that was the segue into the company and got us that role. Okay, so there's backfills. There's also just filling in for gaps, maternity leaves, people are on vacation. That's another way that you can offer contracting or temp staffing to your current clients. But to recap, in conclusion, what I would say is, don't just assume that they have any of these needs. Ask them first. Find out if they're currently using temp staffing or contracting. They might be using contracting and you might not even know it yet. So have the conversation with your clients. Just ask them, how else are they using third-party recruiters? And you're going to get information, even if it's about permanent placements, and you want to find out because you want to make sure that you have that market share. So talk to your clients, let them know that you're now offering contracting, and then I can help you get set up. You can get yourself set up fairly quickly, and you can even get your temp payroll funded if that's a concern that you have. So good luck. Or actually, I'm going to say like the French say. I like how they say, instead of good luck, they say bon courage. So it means like, give courage, like strength, because it's not really up to luck. It's up to your tenacity and your grit. So go out there, start asking your clients and finding out where contract staffing, where temp staffing would be helpful to them. And if you need help, get in touch with me, find my links, or message me on LinkedIn, and I can help you to put it all together.